Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 16th of October 2023. Essence. Sweet children, the happiness of this knowledge continues for 21 generations. It is the constant happiness of heaven. On the path of devotion, they receive momentary happiness from doing intense devotion. Question: by following which Srimat can you children attain salvation? Answer: the Father's Srimat is: forget this old world and remember me alone. This is known as surrendering yourself or dying alive. By following this Srimat, you become the most elevated of all. You then receive salvation. Corporeal human beings cannot grant salvation to human beings. The Father alone is the bestower of salvation for all. Song. Salutations to Shiva. Om Shanti. You children heard the song. It is sung, God is the highest on high. Human beings don't know God's name. Devotees cannot know God until God comes and gives the devotees his own introduction. It has been explained that there is knowledge and devotion. The golden and silver ages are the reward of studying this knowledge. You are now receiving this knowledge from the ocean of knowledge, and by making effort, you are creating your reward of constant happiness. Then, in the copper and iron ages, there will be devotion. The reward of this knowledge continues through the golden and silver ages. The happiness of knowledge continues for 21 generations. That is the constant happiness of heaven. In hell, there is momentary happiness. It is explained to you, children, that when there were the golden and silver ages, the path of knowledge, there was the new world, New Bharat. It is called heaven. Bharat has now become Tamo Pradhan hell. There are many types of sorrow. In heaven there is no name or trace of sorrow. There is no need to adopt a guru. It is God alone who has to uplift the devotees. It is now the end of the Iron Age and destruction is just in front of you. The Father comes, gives you this knowledge through Brahma, and establishes heaven. He inspires destruction through Shankar and sustenance through Vishnu. No one understands the acts of God. Human beings are said to be sinful souls or charitable souls. It is not said sinful supreme soul or charitable supreme soul. A great soul would be called a great soul. He wouldn't be called a great supreme soul. Souls become pure. The Father has explained, first of all, the main religion is the deity religion. At that time, it was just the Sun dynasty that ruled the kingdom. There wasn't the Moon dynasty. There was just the one religion. There were palaces of gold and silver in Bharat. All the roofs and walls were decorated with diamonds and jewels. Bharat was like a diamond. That same Bharat has now become like shells. The Father says, I come at the end of the cycle. I come at the confluence of the end of the Iron Age and the beginning of the Golden Age. I make Bharat into heaven once again through you mothers. You are the Shiv Shaktis, the Pandava army. The Pandavas have love for the one Father. The Father is teaching them. All the scriptures, etc., are the paraphernalia of the path of devotion. Those are the devotion cults. The Father now comes and gives everyone this knowledge, the fruit of devotion, through which you go into salvation. The bestower of salvation, the Father of all, is just the one. The Father alone is called the ocean of knowledge. Human beings cannot grant liberation or liberation in life to human beings. This knowledge is not in any of the scriptures. The Father alone is called the ocean of knowledge. You claim your inheritance from Him, and you will then become full of all virtues, 16 celestial degrees full. This is the praise of the deities. Lakshmi and Narayan are 16 celestial degrees full, and Rama and Sita are 14 degrees. This is a study. This is not a common spiritual gathering. Only the One is the truth. He alone comes and explains the truth. This is an impure world. There are no impure beings in a pure world, and there are no pure beings in an impure world. Only the one Father is the one who makes you pure. The soul says, Salutations to Shiva. The soul said salutations to his Father. If someone says that Shiv exists in him, in that case, to whom is he bowing down? This ignorance has spread. The Father is now making you children Trikaldashi. You know that the place where all souls reside is the land of Nirvana, your sweet home. Everyone remembers liberation, where we souls reside with the Father. You are now remembering the Father. When you go to the land of happiness, you will not remember the Father. This is a land of sorrow. Everyone is in degradation. There was new Bharat in the new world. That was a land of happiness. There were the Sun Dynasty and the Moon Dynasty kingdoms. People don't know what the connection is between Lakshmi and Narayan and Radhe and Krishna. That princess and prince are each from separate kingdoms. It isn't that they are brother and sister. She was in her separate kingdom, and Sri Krishna was a prince in his own kingdom. When they married, they became Lakshmi and Narayan. In the Golden Age, everything gives happiness, whereas in the Iron Age, everything causes sorrow. In the Golden Age, no one has untimely death. You children know that you study easy Raj Yoga with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, in order to change from an ordinary man into Narayan and an ordinary woman into Lakshmi. This is a school. There is no aim or objective in those spiritual gatherings. They simply continue to relate the Vedas and scriptures, etc. You have now come to know the human world cycle from the Father. The Father alone is called the knowledgeful one, the blissful and merciful one. You sing, "O Baba, come and have mercy." Only Heavenly God the Father comes and establishes heaven at the confluence age. There are very few human beings in heaven. Where will all the rest of the people go? The Father takes everyone to the land of liberation. There was just Bharat in heaven, and later on too, just Bharat will remain. Bharat, the land of truth, is remembered here. At present, Bharat has become poverty-stricken. It continues to beg for every penny. Bharat was like a diamond and is now worth a shell. This secret of the drama has to be understood. You know the Father, the Creator, and the beginning, middle, and end of His creation. Human beings sing salutations to the mothers. However, it is only pure ones who are praised. God Himself comes and begins the saying, salutations to the mothers. Shiv Baba himself came and said, women are the gateway to heaven. There is the Shakti army. They are the ones who will bring about the kingdom of heaven. That is called the World Almighty Authority Kingdom. You Shaktis established self-sovereignty, and it is now once again being established. The Golden Age is called the Kingdom of Rama. Even now they say there should be the Kingdom of Rama. However, no human being can do this. Incorporeal God, the Father Himself, comes and teaches you. He too definitely needs a body. He definitely has to enter the body of Brahma. Shiv Baba is the father of all of you souls. Prajapita has also been remembered. Peter is the father. Brahma is called the great-great-grandfather. Both Adi Dev and Adi Devi are sitting here doing tapasya. You too are doing tapasya. This is Raj Yoga. Sannyasis have Hatha Yoga. They can never teach Raj Yoga. The scriptures and the Gita, etc., are the paraphernalia of the path of devotion. They have been studying those, but they have continued to become impure. This is the same Mahabharat war through which destruction is to take place. There is no science in the Vedas. There are things of knowledge in that. It is the wonder of scientific intellects that they invent inventions. They invent vimans, planes, etc. for happiness. Then later destruction takes place through them. skills for happiness will remain in Bharat, and the skills for sorrow and for killing one another will end. The wisdom of science will continue. These bombs, etc., were manufactured in the previous cycle too. The new world has to be established, and the impure world then has to be destroyed. The Father says, "You have completed your 84 births. Now renounce the arrogance of those bodies, and remember me, your Father, and your sins will be absolved in this fire of the yoga of remembrance. Ravan has made you perform many sinful acts. There is just one way to become pure. You are souls anyway. You say, 'I am a soul.' You would not say that you are the Supreme Soul. You say, 'Do not upset my soul.' It is a very big mistake to say that each soul is the Supreme Soul. Devotion is now tamo-pradhan and adulterated. They just sit and worship whoever comes in front of them. The remembrance of one is called unadulterated. Adulterated devotion is now to end. The Father comes and gives you your unlimited inheritance. It is the Father and none other who gives everyone happiness. The Father says, by connecting your intellects in yoga to me alone, your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. I am the Creator of heaven. This is the world of thorns. They continue to fight and quarrel among themselves. This old world is now changing. The urn of the nectar of this knowledge is placed on the mothers. This is knowledge, but in comparison to poison, it is called nectar. It is said, "Why should I renounce nectar and drink poison?" You will become elevated by following Srimat. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, comes and gives Srimat. Sri Krishna also became that by following Srimat. These matters have to be understood. You have to forget the whole of the old world and remember the one Father. It is now that you have to surrender yourselves. This is known as dying alive. The things of the path of devotion are separate. Those are cults of devotion. There are many gurus of devotion. However, only the one incorporeal Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the bestower of salvation. Corporeal human beings cannot grant salvation to human beings. They cannot give happiness for all time. It is the Father who gives happiness for all time. This is a school. The Father tells you the aim and objective. He says, you are to receive your inheritance of the happiness of heaven. All the rest will go to the land of liberation. There is the land of peace, the land of happiness, and this is the land of sorrow. This cycle continues to turn. This is called the discus of self-realization. No one can be liberated from the cycle of this drama. Each one has a predestined, imperishable part. The Father is teaching you and changing you from human beings into deities. Then it depends on how much each one of you studies. Some will become kings and others will become subjects. There is the Sun dynasty. When there is the Sun dynasty in the Golden Age, there wasn't anyone else. The land of Bharat was the highest on high land of truth. It has now become a land of falsehood. This is called the extreme depths of hell. There is so much violence over money. There, nothing is lacking for which one would have to commit sin. The Father himself is making this corrupted world elevated through you mothers. The Father says to them, "Salutations to the mothers." Sannyasis do not say salutations to the mothers. Their renunciation is limited. This is unlimited renunciation. The whole world has to be renounced by your intellects. You have to remember the land of silence and the land of happiness. Forget this land of sorrow. This is the Father's order. The Father is explaining to you souls, and you are listening through your ears. Shiv Baba is explaining to you through these organs. He is the ocean of knowledge. That one is not a sage, saint or great soul. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence Vedana. 1. Surrender yourself totally to the Father. Renounce the arrogance of your body and have your sins absolved in the fire of yoga. 2. Study while keeping your aim and objective in your intellect. Keeping the predestined drama in your intellect, become a spinner of the discus of self-realization. Blessing. May you be an elevated soul who constantly flies in the flying stage with the wings of zeal and enthusiasm. Together with knowledge and yoga, every day let there be new zeal and enthusiasm at every moment and in every act. This is the base of the flying stage. No matter what the task may be, whether it is of cleaning, washing dishes, or another ordinary task, let there be constant and natural zeal and enthusiasm for it. An elevated soul in the flying stage will constantly continue to fly with his wings of zeal and enthusiasm. He will never become confused and stop by getting tired about small situations. Slogan: those who are humble, tireless, and constantly ignited lights are world benefactors. Om Shanti.